North Island, located at the Seychelles, is where exclusivity turns literal, a granite outcrop in the Indian Ocean with only 11 villas scattered across 500 acres of rainforest and bone-white beaches. Nothing about the layout follows a hotel's logic. No lobby, no dinner times, no scripted gestures. You arrive by helicopter and step straight onto sand. Shoes feel wrong here, so they disappear into a basket and the island takes over the calendar. Villas are cathedral-like timber structures suspended between boulders and sea almond trees, with open sides that frame the ocean as if it were a moving mural. The design language is conservationist on purpose. Reclaimed wood, thatch, local stone, rainwater capture, and pathways that bend around nesting sites rather than through them. The island's hospitality feels like a private household run by magicians. Breakfast isn't a buffet. It's a conversation with the chef who remembers how ripe you like a mango and which coffee you loved yesterday. Rangers track turtle hatchings, and the guest phone rings at dusk with a soft invitation to watch in red light as hatchlings negotiate the first waves. Diving happens on your timeline. So does an impromptu picnic 2 beaches away that somehow anticipates the exact hour you'll finish snorkeling. North Island's legend sharpened when Prince William and Kate Middleton honeymooned here, public confirmation of a truth billionaires already knew. Privacy isn't an amenity, it's the product. Even the sounds are curated. Wind in Takamaka leaves, geckos stitching the night, oars tapping the hull of a kayak at midnight. You leave with salt in your hair and the odd sensation that your heartbeat has slowed to the island's tide. Priced at approximately $8,000 per night. Current ownership: 4 seasons, in partnership with private investors. Laukala Island Resort, located in Fiji, is extravagance disguised as nature. 3,500 acres of volcanic ridgelines, coconut plantations, and coral shallows shaped into 25 villas that behave like standalone estates. The late Red Bull founder, Dietrich Mateschitz, didn't build rooms. He commissioned fantasies, hilltop mansions with lap pools that spill into the sky. Shoreline pavilions stitched from thatch and lava rock, a glass-walled pool that slices through jungle like a river. The island's private airstrip makes arrival feel cinematic. Jet doors hiss, humidity hugs, and a vintage Land Rover ferries you into a world calibrated not just for taste but for momentum. The tempo here is kinetic. Before you ask, a dive master is plodding a drift through soft coral cathedrals. A groom has horses saddled for a gallop where the surf kisses the sand. The chef has torched a sugar-crusted pineapple for dessert you didn't know you wanted. A championship golf course climbs the slopes. A fleet of boats naps in a lagoon. A submarine waits to nose along the reef because, at this price tier, scuba is considered entry-level. Staff operate like a murmuration, appearing, adjusting, vanishing. There are no bills to sign or doors to knock. Your preferences become infrastructure. Laukala's sustainability isn't a press release. Farms on the island supply produce and wagyu. Fisheries replenish what they harvest. Architecture follows contours rather than erasing them. At sunset, the sky bruises purple behind the ridge and the ocean goes mirror flat. A butler sets a table in the shallows. Candles float. Something champagne adjacent is poured, and a moon rises big enough to feel choreographed. Priced at approximately $12,000 per night. Current ownership: Laukala Island Holdings, estate of Dietrich Mateschitz. The Brando in the French Polynesia is a proof of concept disguised as a resort, a carbon-neutral fantasy built on Marlon Brando's promise to keep Tetiaroa pristine. 30 miles north of Tahiti, the atoll reads like a watercolor. 12 coral motifs looped around a lagoon that shifts from pale mint to neon azure depending on the angle of the sun. 35 villas hide in palm groves, each with private beach access and a plunge pool that seems to hover inches above the sand. Interiors are minimalist Polynesian. Bleached wood, hand-woven ceilings, linen that smells like line-dried wind. What distinguishes the Brando is systems thinking. Power comes from a choreography of solar arrays, coconut biofuel, and deep seawater air conditioning that circulates cold from the abyss to cool villas without fossil guilt. Researchers study turtle migration and coral regeneration in the same archipelago where Nobel laureates nap and heads of state draft chapters of memoirs. The staff operate like librarians, quiet, omniscient, locating exactly what you need before you remember needing it. Days have the rhythm of tide charts. Kayak at dawn, reef at noon, lagoon stargazing after dinner. Food is light and ocean forward. Poisson crew with lime that tastes like it remembered its tree. Breadfruit roasted until it blushes. The magic is restraint. No chandeliers, no gold leaf, Just the rare luxury of nothing unnecessary. Priced at approximately $15,000 per night. Current ownership, Pacific Beachcomber SC, in partnership with the Brando Estate. Necker Island, located in the British Virgin Islands, doesn't bother pretending to be a hotel. It's a private island party with an operations manual and a conservation mission. Edited by Sir Richard Branson for maximum mischief. The main Balinese-style great house levitates over the island like a treehouse on a dare, surrounded by guest villas connected by palm-shaded paths. When the trade winds are up, kite surfers stitch the horizon with colored arcs. At dusk, the decks glow and laughter carries over the water like a signal flare. The offering is joyous anarchy disguised as choreography. Breakfast whenever, tennis with visiting pros, beach Olympics you didn't know you signed up for, then black-tie dinner that ends barefoot in the sand under a sky salted with stars. Hurricanes have knocked Necker down more than once. Each rebuild has returned greener. Solar fields, wind turbines, and rewilding projects that have flamingos stalking the salt ponds again. Ring-tailed lemurs sun themselves on railings as if they own the island. Arguably, they do. Necker's genius is its social architecture. You arrive as a closed circle and leave with new phone numbers typed under first names only. The staff are conversational athletes, present, playful, discreet, and the sense of security is absolute. This is where VIPs remember how to exhale. By the time you speedboat away, the water is the kind of turquoise that looks photoshopped and your inbox feels like a rumor. Priced at approximately $20,000 per night. Current ownership, Virgin Limited Edition. Sir Richard Branson. Musha Cay, the Bahamas, is a magician's thesis statement. David Copperfield bought 11 islands and turned them into an experience that behaves less like hospitality and more like theater. The headliner is privacy. No other guests, ever. The supporting acts are 5 houses with distinct personalities. A hilltop mansion that spies on 3 horizons, a beachfront cottage whose deck is basically a front row seat to the tide, a plantation-style manor that hosts dinners spilling into midnight. Every day is a reveal. A treasure hunt might begin with a map and a conch shell, detour through a sandbar that appears only at low tide, and end with a trunk that contains something meaningful to your family because someone quietly researched your life. Fireworks spell out names. A dinner table sprouts from the shallows as if the ocean itself decided to host. Even the silence is staged, the absence of boat noise, the choreography of torches along a path you didn't notice at dusk. Food is not cuisine so much as narrative. Lobster that tastes like the reef still remembers it, mangoes that taste like noon. Staff anticipate appetite like mind readers and vanish like stagehands. At midnight, the Milky Way runs from horizon to horizon so clearly it steals the room's oxygen. You realize the luxury here isn't consumption, it's authorship. Priced at approximately $40,000 per night. Current ownership, David Copperfield. Banwa Private Island is a newcomer with imperial ambition located in Palawan, Philippines. Set in Palawan's marine park clarity, the 15-acre island hosts 6 beachfront villas that behave like contemporary pavilions. Glass, timber, pale stone, and infinity edges that erase the boundary between pool and sea. Helicopters drop onto a palm-ringed helipad. Seaplanes taxi up to a jetty polished to a low sheen. Guests are few, staff are many, and protocols mirror diplomatic compounds. Medical team on call, marine biologists on payroll, security discreet but absolute. Wellness is the island's organizing principle. Personalized nutrition plans tune menus like instruments. A resident sommelier curates vintages that travel better than most people. Spa programs braid Southeast Asian therapies with European clinical rigor. The day can be a scalpel. Yoga at Blue Hour, free diving class by mid-morning, infrared sauna before dinner, or it can be permission, a hammock, a paperback, an afternoon that accomplishes nothing measurable. Banwa's reefs are the island's best argument. Coral heads bloom like underwater neighborhoods. Reef fish move in shoals like punctuation. Visibility feels infinite. Back on land, turf is velvet and gardens are precise. At twilight, the island's lamps glow like embers. The horizon prints itself in navy, and the sky unspools constellations as if someone dimmed the atmosphere to luxury. Priced at approximately $100,000 per night for the entire island. Current ownership, Banwa Private Island Holdings with Aquos Investment Group. Royal Mansour, Marrakesh, Morocco is a spectacle as scholarship. Commissioned by King Mohammed VI, it is a walled city carved by Morocco's master artisans, 1,500 of them, into a geometry of alleys, courtyards, and gardens so exact it feels inevitable. There are no rooms, only 53 private riads, vertical homes with salons, patios, and rooftop plunge pools where the Atlas Mountains show up on clear days like a painted set. Zelle tiles pattern floors like mathematics, cedar latticework sifts the light, Carved plaster glows like icing under lamplight. Service is a magic trick executed through a hidden network of underground passages that lets staff arrive invisibly inside your riad. You hear a soft knock, and mint tea materializes. You leave for the hammam, and petals appear in your courtyard fountain. You return from the souk, and the air smells like orange blossom. Gastronomy is a state occasion, from refined Moroccan dishes that respect the grandmother's hand to haute cuisine that treats argan oil like a violin. The hammam is less spa than ritual. Marble warms bone, steam rewrites breath. A therapist scrubs the desert from your skin and returns you to yourself. Outside the walls, the Medina hums. Inside, time loses nouns. This isn't modern luxury overlaid on an old city. It is the old city, perfected. Priced at approximately $120,000 per night for full royal exclusivity. Current ownership, the Moroccan royal family, King Mohammed VI. Lover's Deep luxury submarine in St. Lucia is the most expensive resort in the world that doesn't have an address. It has coordinates. Lover's Deep is a luxury submarine conceived as a private hotel suite that descends below the surface and carries the horizon with it. You board at night by tender. Crew move like punctuation, efficient, quiet, essential. Then ballast takes on, hatches seal, and the ocean replaces the sky. Inside, the aesthetic is yacht meets penthouse, lacquered woods, soft leathers, an observation lounge that behaves like a cinema where the film is written by currents. Dinner becomes theater. Bioluminescence flickers outside like fallen stars, while a chef plates scallops that taste like the word fresh. The captain can park you beside a coral wall where parrotfish shave algae like confetti, or drift into deep blue where the only light is what you brought. When you sleep, the quiet is cathedral deep. The hull hums faintly, and dreams feel like they've had their gravity adjusted. The proposition here is control. Want fireworks above when you surface at midnight? They appear. Want the sub ferried to another island by morning? Consider it done. Privacy is absolute. No neighbors, no paparazzi drone can dive, no horizon you didn't choose. In a market where seclusion is the final luxury, this is not a room, it's a jurisdiction. Priced at approximately $292,000 per night. Current ownership, Oliver's Travels, Luxury Experiences, United Kingdom.